our next project today. I'll tell you a little story. I was very proud of my tomatoes a few years ago, and I was telling my brother how I'm about to tie them up, and he took me to show his tomatoes. And I was quite embarrassed and ashamed of my tomatoes because mine were just about that high, ready to tie up. His was this high. Mine were flowering. His had full fruit that had ripened, when yet we were only probably a couple of kilometres apart. And I asked him how on earth he did it, and this is how. What he did was get some plastic and tomato stakes and make a mini hothouse. And so he was able to put his tomatoes in months ahead of when I was. Just here in Melbourne, we have a saying that put your tomatoes in cup dough because we have no frosts after cup dough. But this is way back first day of spring. So I'm going to give it a shot and see how we go. Okay, we've got some gros bliss here. One of my family's favourites, so we're going to just select the best plants because I only want 3 to go across the back. So I'm going to collect the biggest and best looking 3, which will be 1, 2 and 3. And I'm just going to pop these back in and put a bit of soil in there. I could put them in a pot or anything, but I'll probably pot them up later, or actually maybe even plant them later. So either way, they're now nice and secure, and there won't be anything wrong with them. They'll be fine. Okay, I'm just going to plant. They recommend 50 centimetres apart. We're going to push the boundaries a little bit because our piece of plastic's not quite that big. Okay, we've got our little tomato seedling here. You notice the difference between the adult leaves, and these are what we call pre-emergent leaves, or the seed leaves. So we're just going to take those off. Now, you would never do this with any other plant other than a tomato. I'm going to bury it right up to here. And this tomato vine, is because that's what they are, will put little roots all the way up there. So instead of just a bit of cluster of roots down the bottom, it'll have roots all the way up there. You can imagine the extra boost that would give it. We're just going to plant it now. So as you remember, we dug all this down nice and deep before, so just plant him right down deep. I'm just going to tuck him in. Just going to water these in, and once again, remember, we're not giving the plants a drink, we're just really settling in the soil against the roots. I mean, they get a drink too, but this is the main purpose, to settle the soil in. Now, what we're doing here, I've got them all spaced out. Just give that one a bit more. I've got them all nicely spaced out, and I really would have liked to spread them out a little bit more, but we won't get them under our plastic. And I'm sure it won't matter if they're a little crowded. So what I'm going to do is water in our little seed trays that we replanted as well. And this time I'm going to use a rose because with them sticking up, it will be way too hard if I did that. And I'm going to leave these under our little tent because if we have a frost, they will be dead. So I'm just going to tuck them in. I'm actually going to just tuck them in a little bit so that they don't dry out easily and their roots stay nice and cool. So there we have it. Just going to slide these down. I'm going to go right down to the ground so the cold air doesn't travel in underneath. Now I'm also going to raise some seedlings in there. We've got such a great little hothouse, why not? That didn't take long at all. It wasn't very long until we had the whole thing up. Mini hothouse. And this will get our tomatoes months earlier than they would normally arrive. So if you thought this was a good idea, push the like button. And if you have other gardening friends, just pass it on to them. And remember, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and you will be able to see what else I'm up to.